The Florida Gators need to get on the job market. They need to get on the job market fast. And by job market, I mean the head coaching carousel market. You look at all of these teams, Penn State, Arkansas, UCLA, Oklahoma State, Stanford, Oregon State, UAB, Virginia Tech, and nowhere to be found is the Florida Gators. I can tell you right now, Curt Cignetti's been called. Matt Campbell has been called. How many of these other coaches? Jimbo Fisher's probably been called. A lot of these top candidates, right? They've been called. And Penn State's decision comes off two main things. They've seen what a quick change can happen when UCLA made a move. They didn't even bring anyone new. All they did was make a move. And both Tim Skipper and Jerry Neuheisel have turned that team into like an entirely different program. In 2 games, it looks like an entirely different program just from getting rid of someone. That's not even hiring someone on. Incredible job out of Tim Skipper. It's unfathomable to think how fast it can happen. And then you look at Indiana, what Curt Cignetti has done. In year 1, taking them to the college football playoff. Year 2, going into Autzen and beating Oregon by double digits. Athletic departments are looking at this like we are 1 decision away. Not even higher, okay? Yes, you're 1 hire away, but you may be 1 decision away from turning your program around. And yet the Florida Gators continue to sit and do nothing about it. As teams continue to get on the market, they're calling before you are, and they do nothing about it. It's hard to wrap your head around. With Billy Napier, I mean, it's just been an abysmal tenure. I mean, 0-14 against ranked teams on the road in his SEC tenure. He's 21-23. It has been nothing short of mediocrity that has been accepted at a premier program like the University of Florida. And for them to continually accept this blows my mind. With Dan Mullen and 10-win seasons, New Year's 6 bowls, when those used to matter heavily and they weren't playoff games, New Year's 6 bowls, and yet that wasn't enough. It wasn't good enough. 1 down year and Dan Mullen's out the door. They don't want to internally fix any issues. They don't want to give him support for maybe what his shortcomings were, which we know what Dan Mullen's shortcomings are. We've seen it, right? He struggled putting together a defensive coordinator that can consistently get good defense out, and he struggled a little bit with recruiting. Talent development hasn't been a problem. Winning games hasn't been a problem. Winning anywhere. Dan Mullen has won everywhere he goes. What do you know? He's undefeated at UNLV right now. Are we surprised? I'm not. I picked the Rebs to be a sleeper team in the playoff. I picked them to hit over their win total this year. Now, they haven't won in the prettiest of ways, but a win is a win. And a team with how many new faces? He's got 2 quarterbacks out there that he's just throwing around. Offense is lighting it up, scoring points. Typical Dan Mullen. Once he can put together a defense, I don't think he's going to be at UNLV for much longer. I do think he'll get a job elsewhere, one of these teams we just listed. But look at Florida. You are settling for Billy Napier. Now, let me just give you some of the counter arguments that I hear people mention, and I hear them. Okay, last year, I sat in the same spot when Florida rattled off, 4 straight wins at the end of the season. And I said, you know what? I like this. I like the people that rode for him. I'm starting to see the progress. It looked like DJ Lagway was going to grow, and it was going to be his team next year. The defense and Ron Roberts started to get a little bit better. They forced stops. They played extremely well. The offense in that run game started to lean on teams. They started to win in all kinds of different facets, whether it was a little bit more high scoring than usual, whether it was a slower game where it was grind out the clock. They found ways to win. And that's something that is completely admirable. I saw that. I get that in terms of recruiting. Billy Napier's done an incredible job recruiting, at least in terms of what he's competing against both in the SEC and now just nationally with NIL money. All of that does not matter if you cannot win football games. And that is what he has not been able to do. The Florida Gators are sitting at 2-4. 2-4. It is unacceptable for a program like Florida. Now listen, I'm not telling you I think Billy Napier should be fired today. But I'm telling you that cord is continuing to slim and get a lot skinnier when you think about all of these programs that are now turning into premier programs, like a $1.2 billion estimated valuation of Penn State with an opening. It's going to turn into a bidding war. And if you're late to the party, you're going to be right back in the same place where you may have to dip into the group of 5. That's no shade towards the group of 5. I think there's absolutely incredible coaches that could come be the next Nick Saban for all we know. But Florida's done that experiment with Billy Napier, and clearly that did not work for you. It has been an abysmal tenure so far with just how many unbelievable losses, hard to watch losses, undisciplined football, regression at the quarterback position. Offensively, they can't even move the ball. He refuses to give up play calling duties. Yeah, sure, the recruiting's been good. Sure, you've dipped in the portal a little bit. Sure, you have a great culture. Sure, the team buys into you. You can't consistently win football games, and Florida has to get on the job market now. Because if it's too late, they're going to have to settle for their 7th or 8th option, and I don't know who that's going to be. I really don't. It could be better than Billy Napier. It could be worse. But I say all this to tell you, in a crazy coaching carousel that's only going to get different, it's only going to expand. You think about Auburn maybe in that same boat. I don't think Hugh Freeze has done a terrible job this year outside of, the A&M game offensively was just awful. The offensive performance against Oklahoma was awful. The loss to Georgia, the officiating was awful. I thought they played an unbelievable first half, and still the momentum swing in that one sucks. But hey, I mean, they're going to give him a little bit of a break with the officiating, but as soon as next week rolls around, if Auburn keeps losing, I think he could be gone possibly. We know his seat is getting extremely hot. There's other SEC coaches that are in a similar position. Arkansas obviously has already made their move, so the Gators have to make a move, and they have to make a move fast, friends, because it is not looking good for them. I understand there's talks of Lane Kiffin, but there's no guarantee in that one either. And what if someone else makes that phone call? How do we know that Lane Kiffin is destined to go to Florida? How do we know that he thinks Florida is a better program than Ole Miss? We don't know that. So that's my tangent on the Gators. I think a change needs to be made. That's my spiel on the coaching carousel. Chaos, man, lots to come. So we'll get back to football in the next videos, but wanted to get this out. It's something fun to talk about, and I get pretty passionate about it. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.